special council meeting for Wednesday, March 12th. We're beginning right at 6 p.m. At this time, I'd like to confirm the agenda. Are there any emergent items from any of the councilors tonight for the agenda? Anything from Legislative Services? Jonathan?
Thank you, Worship and Council. Administration is going to be requesting that Council remove the following items from the agenda. Item 4.4, Strathmore Business Association Agreement, and item 5.4, CAO Performance Review, Confidential Evaluations, FOIP Section 19.1, with the idea that 5.4 would come to the next council meeting agenda.
Thank you. Councillor Peterson?
Thank you, Worship. With Council's permission, and I understand this takes a consensus of Council, I would just like to have an update in the in-camera for changes to the association with the overnight shelter in Hope Mission.
And where are you thinking it would fit in?
Wherever you deem it appropriate, Your Worship.
Jonathan, would that be okay to add it at the end of business?
Thank you, Worship and Council. I understand this would be an in-camera
Yes.
discussion.
Oh,
so
okay,
yeah.
sorry.
it'd be,
Yeah.
maybe item 5.4.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Then I'm looking for a motion to adopt the amenda, confirm it as amended. I was going to call you Deputy Mayor, but those days are gone.
Oh.
Councillor Wiley.
I move the council adopt the March 12th, 2025 special council meeting agenda as amended with the removals and Councillor Peterson's addition.
Thank you. You've all heard the motion. Is there discussion or debate on that motion? Seeing none, all in favor? And that motion is carried. And since I just made that faux pas, I wanted to take a moment to thank Councillor Brent Wiley for his time. I believe it was 8 months as Deputy Mayor. You were ready, willing, and able to step up when needed, and I appreciated having you at the agenda-setting meetings as well. So thank you for all your efforts in your time as Deputy Mayor, and welcome to Councillor Debbie Mitzner, who I will now be referring to as Deputy Mayor Mitzner.
The best for last.
We move now to public comments, and I just have a few things to read. Members of the public are welcome to provide comments regarding items on the agenda tonight. Thank you for that comment. I thought you were bailing for a second there. Not everybody knows that, but please note, this is your time to let council know your thoughts. Comments will not be taken from the gallery after this portion of the meeting concludes. While council welcomes public comments and questions, there is no debating during this section of the agenda. If you do wish to speak, please raise your hand and I will call you to the microphone. Before sharing your comments, please clearly state and spell your name for the record. And each member of the public will be given 5 minutes to speak to an item on today's agenda. And as we want to hear from as many members of the public as possible, we ask that speakers try to be succinct, with comments focused on presenting council with new information. And just before we get started, if you do come up to speak, be aware that a bell will ring at the 4-minute mark, providing you 1 minute to conclude your comments. So, is there anyone who wishes to speak tonight on any of the items on our agenda? Thank you. Come on up. And if you wouldn't mind, I believe you're Claude, or is it Claude? Thank you and welcome. If you wouldn't mind introducing yourself again. Thank you.
Is that working? Yeah. Just raise that up a bit too. Thank you, Council, for convening this special meeting today. I'm here first and foremost to thank you for bringing the Garden Suite bylaw back to Council and to consider repealing it. Pat, kudos to you, sir, for having the wisdom to see that it is something that is not necessarily suited for Strathmore. I just want to extend the appreciation from all those people that signed that petition 6 months ago, that we're very relieved that Council's looking at it. I hope that once the review is done, Council is going to repeal that bylaw. And that's really all I have to say. I'll keep it short and sweet, but that's it.
Thank you for your comments. Sure.
Claude, Mr. Brown. I was trying to recollect, how many people signed the petition that you'd passed around last summer?
627.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks very much. So just before I move on, are there any other people who would like to step up and say a few comments tonight on any of the agenda items? Seeing and hearing none, we'll move on to business. Item 4, business, 4.1 Lambert Village Snow Removal Petition. Jonathan, are you speaking to this or raising the topic?
Thank you, Worshiping Council. So on February 12, 2025, the town of Strathmore received a petition containing 80 signatures requesting that Park Lane Way be added as a priority roadway in the town's snow removal policy. Once a petition is filed with the CAO must determine the sufficiency of the petition in accordance with Section 225 of the Municipal Government Act. And this has to be done within 45 days of receiving the petition. This petition has been determined to be insufficient in accordance with the MGA, as not all signatures were witnessed. There was not an identical purpose statement on each page. Not all signatures were from electors, and the petition was not signed by 10% of the population. Further information is within your agenda packet. I'd be happy to answer any questions about the petition process from council at this time.
Are there any questions for council from, any questions from council for Jonathan? Deputy Mayor Mitzner, I get to use it.
Thank you. Do you have a map so we can actually see the Park Lane Way?
Through your worship, yes, we can get a map for council if you would like. We just need a brief recess to
Okay,
get that
thank
map.
you.
Do you want to make a motion for a quick recess to get the image?
Sure, I'd like to see the image of what we're talking about, please.
We need a motion to.
I would like to move that we go into recess while we gather the map.
Thank you. You've all heard the motion for a recess, a brief recess. 5 minutes enough, Jonathan? All in favor? Opposed? Okay, we have 2 opposed and 5 in favor. So we will reconvene in at 6:15, just before 6:15.